Okay, Sarah. So I don't know if you heard the robot, but recording is in progress.
I did
Um,
hear the robot.
I know you're having a great day, as you told me prior to the recording. So
Yes.
um, I am going to dig right into the movie, Potato Dreams of America. When
Amazing.
you first heard that title, like I guess let me ask, how did you get involved with this? Was it pitched to you?
Yeah.
And okay, so then when you first
No.
heard that title, what was your thought?
It definitely was not pitched to me. That would be a special day when I get pitches. It just came through my inbox like any other audition from my agent. Sorry. It came through my inbox like any other audition from my agent. And I had to do a self-tape, which is just like tape your own audition. And I sent it into Wes. And I think I knew like pretty much from the onset that it was a pretty special project. And yeah, I saw the title and I was like, pardon me, what? But there's information about it on the Google because of his story being a short before it was a feature. So I pretty soon was like, okay, the what subsided and I just kind of got excited. And yeah, luckily that he cast me and here we are today.
So had you seen the first? So I know that you had mentioned prior to the interview that the second half of the film was shot first before the first half
Mhm.
of the film. Were you able to see that half before accepting the role, or was that filmed after
No.
you were already cast?
No, it was filmed before I was attached. I think I was offered the role probably about 2 weeks before we started filming the section that I was in. And I actually didn't see any of the footage from the second half because the two halves are very different. So I almost feel like that was it didn't even cross my mind to ask because this is my first movie. So I was just kind of like, I don't know, what do I do? But yeah, I think I'm kind of glad that I didn't see it. Otherwise, I feel like I might have been sort of uh confused, like not confused, but it's good that I didn't know what the other half was going to be like.
Right, because it's two very, I mean, they're polarizing
Yeah,
two
two
opposites.
very very different tones and vibes and energies. So yeah, I think it was a good thing.
This is the
Oh
cat
my
you asked
gosh.
about.
Hi boo.
Viewers and listeners understand who she is. So yeah, it's okay for her
She's a
to pop.
legend.
Yeah, the reason the door is open is because she's gonna push it open regardless. So,
We invite you, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo,
Bivity.
into this wonderful meeting.
She dreamed of America. So
Don't we
you
all?
have you always been? I guess to get a little personal before I jump back to the movie. Have
Mhm.
you always been in America? Like, were
Yes.
you born here?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Seattle.
Okay. Did you have any like family or anybody close to you that came overseas that you were able to speak with when doing research for the role?
No, I'm very much I'm a couple generations removed from the immigrant experience. Both of my great grandparents, I believe, on either side, and then farther than that, also like are from Ireland and Italy. So it's very much like we've been in the United States for a while and very acclimated to being
Right.
American and calling ourselves that. So the immigrant experience, which is like such a core of this movie, was something that I just like, you read about, you hear about it, but I personally, I knew nothing about what that was like. So
Right. So then let me ask you if Wes sat down any of the actors or actresses like yourself and kind of expressed to you guys what his experience was outside of the script, and
yeah.
kind of tell you a little bit more that's not in the movie so that you would have that to refer to.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely an open book about his experience and was the best reference that any of us could have had in terms of like you can Google, you can research, you can read all the things, but to have the person whose literal experience it was right in front of you, like there's nothing better than that, and there's nothing richer than that experience. So having him there was the best resource I think any of us could have had.
Yeah, that's I can definitely imagine that. Was he so you said that he had already done a short for this prior
Mhm.
to and that's not something that I was familiar with. So had you
Yeah,
seen the short before you ended up joining the project?
I hadn't. It's a documentary and it's called Little Potato, and it's basically it's about the story that Potato Dreams of America is about. And he made it kind of after already knowing that he wanted to make the feature film, but sort of as an avenue towards being able to make the feature. He made Little Potato, and that also premiered at South by Southwest. I want to say in 2017, but I might have that wrong. And that sort of like helped him on the road towards being able to make Potato Dreams of
This
America
bigger.
and the bigger scope. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So obviously you guys did several festivals then.
Mhm.
Well, you did the next festival with him. So I wanted to know, as far as the beginning, towards the beginning of the movie, there's, I don't want to say dance scenes, but
Mhm.
I love how they introduce the film with theater essentially. And I wanted to know if like behind like what the choreography process was like behind some of the scenes towards in the first half of the film.
Yeah, so that specific dance sequence that you're talking about is not me. It was somebody else, and it was very much just like the idea of watching of Little Potato kind of like seeing the world as a movie and how he interpreted trauma to be able to compartmentalize it into something that was more, palatable for like not palatable, but comprehensible to a child. And I kind of still marvel at Wes's brain for like having all of these ideas and putting them onto a screen and executing them. And it's a really, really a special movie and an interesting approach. I love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. And it reminded me, it's funny because you said Marvel, but it reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you saw WandaVision,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, kind of the same thing. Like she traps herself in TV because she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want, reality. So that was something that it reminded me of. And I thought that was pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
um, so did you ever think that you would play any other part when you were reading, or were you specifically looking to be the mom? Or were you
Yeah,
specifically reading for the mom? I guess I should say.
I was specifically asked to audition for Lena in Russia. And honestly, even that role felt very much like a stretch for me. It's extremely different than anything that came across my email, from age to type to all different sorts of things. So I think I just focused. I was like, okay, I guess I have to do my best and to try my hardest on this one. But yeah, I was provided with the whole script when I first auditioned, and it was just like, it's like a rabbit hole because I was reading it and I was like, there's no way this is real. And then I was like, wait, it actually is real. What the heck?
Then you looked it up and you're like, oh
Yeah,
wow.
I looked it up and I was like, okay, the BBC says it's true, so it must be true.
The internet says it's true.
I know.
But
Always believe everything you read on Google.
so how much time did you spend getting how much time did you spend with the young actor who plays Potato to get your guys's not charisma, but your blanking on the word.
I know what you're trying to say.
To make it so that you guys are able to act alongside each other and be comfortable with
Yeah,
one another.
chemistry.
Thank you. I
Yes,
was like, it's not
we got
not
there together.
charisma. Yeah, chemistry.
Yes, chemistry. Well, we had one chemistry read before I was offered the role because they had Hirsch Powers, who plays Potato in Russia, they had him cast for a long time. So I had a chemistry read with him, and then I think we had a few rehearsals and we clicked pretty instantly. He's awesome and like just such a cool child that I was like, yeah, I want to be your fake mom. And yeah, it was just really fun. Like working with him was amazing, and he's an awesome kid.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, as far as your that's your mother, well, I guess your character's mother, that is, like compared to a shadow or the dark cloud that's following you around. Um,
Yes.
do you feel like that actress was at all intimidating because of her experience in the TV and movie world, or
Yeah.
or you feel like you gained a lot from working with her? What was that like?
Oh, I gained so much from working with her because, she's been at it for a lot longer than I have. That's for sure. To my like 2 years, she had, I don't even know, 20 or more. So just, it was pretty amazing. She was attached to the project as well before I was. So I saw that and I was like, oh, like, wow, like this is like a real professional situation. So I was definitely a little intimidated, but I swallowed it with just trying to be like professional and prepared and all this stuff. But I learned so much just by how she moves on set. She is a wonderful human being, so kind and generous, but also like has like knows when she needs to ask for things, and knows when to voice ideas and all these things in just like a very conversational way. And I was like, whoa, like we're allowed to do that, like we're allowed to have this be a collaborative environment, like what the heck. So it was just having it be my first movie, learning from someone who was so well versed in this industry was really, really special, and something that I'll take with me for a long time. Yeah, she's awesome.
That, I mean, and that seems really cool, because just from what I've learned from doing interviews, it seems that actors, it's hard for them to speak up, but specifically actresses. So it's really cool that she gave you that confidence to go forward with in your
Yeah.
future projects. What was it about your role that you played in this that you hope to either look for in future auditions or try to avoid in future roles?
Like the way that I approached it, or
Yeah, or like just
yeah.
once you were done with the playing the character and you look back and you're like, okay, this is my experience showed me that maybe I'm a little better with this. Maybe I
Mm.
should, this was a challenge and I want to attempt this some more. Anything like that?
Yeah, I think like the type of character, she's very grounded, and probably is the most grounded character in that whole first section, because she's just so root. She lives so much in her head, and I love characters like that. I think they're really interesting because there's so much room for internal dialogue and what's going on in your head outside of this outside world that the viewer sees. And I think that those are really, really special experiences. I think that a lesson that I learned in the movie as a whole is that like I was really scared. I was so scared as like a human going into this experience, and like I didn't need to be, and I think that like going forth with confidence and like realizing that I am, I was cast, they chose me, like I'm there for a reason. That is like the biggest thing that I need to take with me in every single future experience, because I don't think that fear is ever going to go away, but it's about like how I, as a person and as an actor, approach that fear and how I deal with it and like use it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that for sure. So, when were you able to see the full movie for the first time, or have you
I
not been able
watched
to?
No, I have. I was sent a link before it premiered at South by Southwest, and I watched it in my dark bedroom alone with headphones, because I am mortified at watching myself on this on any I hate watching myself. So I like watched it alone, and I was like, oh my God. And then I remember, my sister and my parents or stuff, they watched it at South by Southwest, and because it was all virtual, so they watched it at home. They were like, you need to watch it with us. And I was like, absolutely not. I just can't. But once I was able to finally take myself out of it, it's just so special. It's such a unique journey, and just the overriding messages are so heartwarming, and I just love it.
Did you happen to use an accent at all? I didn't have it very loud, but I noticed when it switched to the other, like halfway through, or like maybe towards the third act,
Mm-hmm.
um, it was prominent, because I think you said it was a different actress,
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of obvious. But but did you at all try to do a Russian accent when you were first filming?
Yeah, so Wes will be able to speak more to this, but we did not use any accents in the scenes that we're supposed to be in Russia. I think because it's like, to us, living there, like we don't talking to each other, we don't have accents to each other, you know. But then when we go to America, we're othered, and there's that idea of us being seen differently, as like this kind of other entity from a different place. So then that's when the accents came in
And that
as a way
makes,
to like differentiate between them and us, kind of thing.
well, and that makes perfect sense actually, because that leaves it up in the air. Is, are they speaking Russian? Is this just being conveyed to us in English? And I like
Yeah,
that. I like that. Um,
yeah,
Rather than, you know, automatically putting subtitles or whatever, it kind of leaves it up to the audience with that. That's pretty cool. Um, as far as Wes goes, is this the first
mm-hmm.
time you've worked with him?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you, did it intimidate you at all that the story was actually about his life, and like that he might get hurt or feel some type of way by the way you were playing his mother?
Yeah, you know, from the very first moment that I met him, he like welcomed me with such warmth and love and kindness that there was never a part of me that was scared. Like, he is just an amazing human being and is so kind to me and gave me so much confidence from working with him that yeah, no, I never felt that way. And I'm so lucky that this project brought him into my life, because he is a gem, that's for sure.
That's awesome. Um, so I know you said this is your first movie, but you've
Yeah.
had other projects in the past, correct?
Yes.
Can you talk about any of those?
Yeah, so a lot of the projects that I had before this were short films, like just local indie projects, because I'm from Seattle and I've started my career in Seattle, and that's where Potato Dreams of America was filmed as well, and that's how I got cast in it. Because they cast local, which is radical. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. But yeah, I had that was probably like my first big thing, and then another short film that I was in just won the grand jury prize at the Seattle International Film Festival, which is amazing. So I've had some decent festival luck, which is pretty cool, because that's, I mean, my heart really lies in indie movies. I think that they're absolutely beautiful, and there's so much interesting creative license that's taken, and I just find it to be where so much heart and creativity lies. So I definitely want to keep working in that. And then upcoming, my first like biggish thing is I have a small role in a Showtime show that's coming out in the fall. So
You
I
just
I
can't say what
can't
it is.
I actually can. No, it's called Three Women. It's an adaptation of an amazing book
Oh, yeah,
by Lisa Taddeo.
I did see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I have a small role in that. And honestly, it's just, I feel so grateful to have had Potato Dreams of America, because it has been a stepping stone to open a lot of doors for me. And I feel very lucky.
And that's awesome. Personally, to step back into potato, I I resonated with, you know, some of the LGBTQ stuff. I was
Yeah.
curious if there's anybody in your life that you think is going to be, you know, kind of connect to those themes in this, or anybody in your life that helped you work through that when you were using that character, and playing with the kid. I just used some really weird words when asking when you were
No, I think I know
alongside the
what you're
child.
saying. Yeah. I have been really lucky. Like, Seattle has been an incredible place to grow up, because so much of the just general energy is just like acceptance. So like I've never known anything except for like just like everybody is amazing just the way they are. Like, why does anything else matter? So I think that like automatically this sense of leading with love and just being like, of course, like the overall message is like, of course I still love you, like that is like the core of this whole movie. And I think so many of the people that I surround myself with lead with that exact sense of love. So that was really, it's just kind of innate for me. And I think it's innate for a lot of the people that I surround myself with. And I feel really, really lucky to say that.
And I think it's like I dream of Seattle now. Like
Yeah,
Potato Dreams of Seattle. Like
seriously.
anyway, is there anything that you would like to say about Potato Dreams that we did not cover before I let you go? I know I will be talking to Wes, but I wanted to make sure that I give you a chance to answer anything that people don't usually ask you.
I don't think I can think of anything, which is a boring answer.
People say
But
that all the time. It's okay.
yeah, you asked a lot of really, really great questions. I think you covered it all. No, but it's just been so great to talk to you, and thank you so much for
Thank
having me
you.
on.
Of course. Did you want to plug
Yeah.
any social media for your fans and who are reading or reading, listening, or watching?
Yeah, if you want to follow me on the gram, I'm at Sera Barbieri. My complicated name will probably be in the title of this episode, so you can find the spelling there. Mostly just photos of nature and sometimes photos of stuff that I'm in. So I'd love to have you around.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and you make sure you stay safe.
Thank you. Have a good one, Joseph.